What's going on, guys? Welcome yet to another tutorial for Laravel, and on this one it is a continuation of the last tutorial that we had, whereby we were literally just customizing our page, making sure that our page has got a very beautiful looking design. And in this tutorial we are going to be logging in on two aspects. First aspect is we've got a platform whereby users can log in from two perspectives. One as a student or as a customer, the other one as an admin, depending on how you set your user type. So if I log in with the email address of Mary or Craig at JNK, I'll log in as an admin. If I log in with this one, I log in as a what? As a customer or a student, whichever you want to call it. Now, within our login, it is utilizing this very same login that we had, whereby we've got this email address and let me see, it says the password is incorrect, so let me just put the password that I know, and voila, we are what? We are logged in. But then if we log out with the other email address, which is the Craig, and with our password, then we are on the admin dashboard. So the main idea is we want to customize this admin dashboard so that it works in ways that is going to be best for us. Now, because of that, I've already put a link description to where you can download the template that I'm going to use. And this template, once you download it, it comes to you as a zip file with the name admin template main. Now, inside this admin template, what you're going to be seeing is something like this. Very beautiful looking designed template. Remember, the whole idea is frameworks and so forth. So we want to take this nice beautiful looking site so that it can be able to represent our admin dashboard. Now, after this tutorial, I will do on whereby so that it would make sure that this template will not use this name, but it would use the name that is coming from Laravel itself. So for us to go about it, the first concept is going back in this folder where we're going to copy all these files. After copying all these files, we're going to put them inside where our Laravel project is. And for this one, our Laravel files are inside a project called dash. And when we're doing our tutorial, we put information in our public folder. So it means that if we put information now, it is going to disturb our information. So the only way to go about it is for us to create a new folder. I'm just going to call it admin CSS. Then I'm going to paste all my files in here. This means that whenever I come to my project, which is here inside public, I will still have an admin CSS which contains the files that I need, specifically our main admin page. So for us to work with it, remember our concept is we are not just working with files and just putting them there, but we also need to make sure that when someone logs in, their route changes. Now, currently with the current route, if we go under our resources, inside our views, you'll see that we've got an admin view, which gives us this page which says welcome as an admin and so forth and so forth. So what we are going to do is we're going to do it a little bit differently because it's the main admin dashboard that we get to see. So first key thing is we need to make sure that we create a route that are going to be seen by the admin side. These routes will make sure that whenever we are using them, people can be able to see them. If we take a look at our routes, we currently have this one and this one, which are both same thing. But we also have this one for the admin, which brings back the route to where the admin files are stored. So what we're now going to do is we're going to make sure that this route can still be able to find information that we need in ways that we want. So after copying our files, after making sure that our files are perfectly fine, we have created our folder, which is this one, admin.css. We now need to make sure that admin CSS files are going to be seen. Now, how are we going to do that? We are going to make sure by first manipulating this folder, meaning that whatever that is going to be admin related, we are going to put it in here. So as we put this information, we are going to make sure that within this system, when we open the admin dashboard, we can see the page that we need. So first thing to take note of is not just the route, but it's the function name. Now, if we take a look at our function name, our function here says admin dashboard, and the function that we are referring to is the one called what? Called index, meaning that when we come to our controller, inside our controller, we have to make sure that we can be able to see this specified page. So for us to do that, we are going to make sure that this specified page, which is this one, can be seen from anywhere by the admin. So how do we go about it? All we are going to do is we are going to remove this whole system which Laravel gives you, and we are going to copy and paste this whole thing that our template is giving us. Right? After copying and pasting it, remember this is not the main page that we need. Why? Because we might need to create a what? An index page. So what we're going to do about it is, if we take a look at our project, our Laravel admin page, if we refresh, it looks like that. Now, it looks like that, yes, which is not really what we need, but we can actually make it look in a way that we need. By default, we all know that whenever someone logs in on a system, they are logging in on an index page. So you could even change this whole main page for it to no longer just be admin dashboard, but for it to be admin what? Index.php. But the choice is yours. So next, we can see that the information is there, but the files are not working. So for the files to work, or for all the things to work, what is going to happen is we are going to make sure that our links that are on this page, so long of a page, are going to show up. How are we doing that? We are doing it the same way that we did our previous project, whereby we have to first make sure that whatever documents that are linked to our files can be what? Can be accessed. We make sure that they are what? Number one, we make sure that they are they are an asset, but outside of them being an asset, they need to still reference the admin CSS public folder that we created. So for us to do that, we are just going to highlight everywhere where we need to add information. Yes, for now. Yeah, for now, that's it. All right. After doing that, we are going to add the name of the document, because the name of the document is the one that is going to determine the information. So /admin CSS/. Then we make sure that we do it the very same way for even the files at the bottom. So I'm just going to do that as well for all our files at the bottom, or all our links at the bottom, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So admin CSS, like that. And then we're going to make sure that these are assets. So as you know, for an asset, all right, let me just do it for the same. As a source, as an asset, so bracket asset, and then you close your brackets. And then at this point in time, we're just going to copy our links into so pretty much this is the same as what we did with the previous project, where we were integrating our HTML document and so forth. It is pretty much the same. Only difference is this is, well, obviously for what? For the admin page. So meaning that if you are creating your project and there's more than one dashboard to be seen, then you have to create multiple what? Multiple dashboards. Mm. And the last one for the bottom. Now, I had one question being raised by one of my students, and they were asking as to how then do you link multiple pages? Well, the whole idea behind it is not really the pages that you are supposed to worry about, but how you link your pages is going to be determined by your profiling in terms of your links and where you're putting the files. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to say asset, like that. Then I copy my CSS. I know this can be irritating because it's more of a repetition of a task, but truth be told, this is the easiest way to do it because you want to maintain all the structure and so forth. Mind you, we're not doing it for links that have got HTML references or that have got hypertext references, because these ones, they can be accessed from anywhere. I think that's it for now. Let's save. If we come back and refresh our page, we've got our project back. Now our image is not showing and so forth. Some of the key things are not responsive, so which means that we still have to take a look at as to when you were putting your links, where are the files and so forth. This one, we can call it admin CSS slash. Let's see if our shortcut icon is going to appear. All right, this one is appearing, but our image is not showing. So you are literally going through your whole template, taking a look at which one did you leave out, which one did you not leave out, and so forth. If there is one that you left out, then you have to fix it out. If there's one that you didn't leave out, then you what? All right, this one is a trick for all the IEs, so you can actually remove it as a comment, and you will see it's a script file. So let me just cancel it out. And as you can see, it's already telling me that there's an error on my head tag because of this end if statement. Now, if we refresh, it might not do anything, but it might actually make your page not visible because of how all the IDEs were actually set up. As you can see, here's pretty much our system is back. But I will not be using them, so I don't need to use them. So we leave them the way they are. But the whole idea is we're doing this to make sure that our information is visible from everywhere and from anywhere. Now, outside of doing this, it is also important to make sure that we understand where each tag of information is. That way it helps reduce certain concepts, certain information that is not going to be visible for you from what? For you to be able to view it. Now this shortcut doesn't matter, so we can remove it for now. But just in case, you know what? Let me just put it as an asset. Cut it. Admin CSS slash that. So we've got our template back, and yeah, it's not the most ideal template, but remember, we are working through it. Even some of the things are still not yet responsive, they're still not yet showing, and so forth. So after doing this, we need to now make sure that in as much as our files are working, we actually can use them. One way of doing that is making sure that our files are stored in the right path. They're stored also in the right path. So us storing them in the right path doesn't just start from here, it also starts from us making sure that our code looks somewhat readable. Now we are in this admin dashboard. So as always, let's separate our information. So this is information inside the head. So I'm just going to copy everything inside the head until here. Cut it out. If I save, and then I come and refresh my page, I want you to take note of what happens. Our link's not working. So what we're going to do inside admin, new file, I'm just going to call it css.blade.php, just like what we did with the previous project. And then I'll come back and then what? I no longer need this one. Then I'll come back and include. But then the concept now on including, we are including the keyword, not home like the previous project, admin.what? CSS. If we click save and refresh, voila, our links are back. Now I'm also going to copy everything in the head or header. So based on how fast you can work, you might go through and finish things later on faster, or it's up to you. So you're just looking at to where your header ends. All right. And then I'm just going to say at include admin dot header. Remember, we are adding a header file, so meaning that I have to create a new file called header dot blade.php. Then I'll paste my information. And then I'll come back to my dashboard. So this is for the sidebar. So I'm just going to copy, let me see from here. All right, sidebar. End of sidebar, which ends with a nav. Yep. I'm just going to see sidebar. Yeah, let me see if I can end my sidebar here. If I refresh my page, you see that my sidebar is gone. So new file, sidebar.blade.php. Then I paste it. And then this is where my page content starts from. So I think I'm just going to copy the whole page content. It's up to you to separate, including the footer, or if you don't want it, the choice is yours. So this is where the footer starts from to where it ends and so forth. I'm just going to copy including the footer. Let me see how many div tags I can leave at the top. I can call this a body. So I've left 3 div tags. So I'm just going to copy and leave 3 div tags at the bottom as well to close. So where my footer ends, all right, my footer ends here. I'm just going to close another div tag because it seems like I've copied more than 3. And then I'm just going to say new file, body.blade.php, then paste it. Then I'm also going to include admin.body. So as you can see, we now have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So there's header, there's first one was CSS, was header, then I need to add my sidebar here. Let's include admin.sidebar. If we refresh our project, alright, our sidebar is not showing yet because our sidebar is supposed to show admin header, then sidebar. But yeah, you do get the concept of it. Pretty much this is how you'll be dealing with your whole admin dashboard and so forth. So many things might not yet be responsive yet, but we are trying to integrate a system or your whole system so that it can be able to be what? To be visible from one end to the other. Now, after doing that, you know what? I have a feeling that I want to redo the sidebar. So let me just go back and see where I went wrong. Admin.css, admin.header. So after I removed my sidebar, all right, this was the navigation for the sidebar. So let me leave it there for now. All right. No, everything is actually good. So let's just go back. Admin.body, admin include the sidebar. Yes. So after doing this, the next concept is we always want to make sure that if someone clicks on log out, they are supposed to be able to do something, right? Now, this is not going to be as simple as what we might have thought about. First of all, let's remove things that might seem unnecessary. One of the key things that we might remove, we don't need all of this. So we know that, all right, this is part of the header. So you go inside the header and then you take a look at from the files that you have inside your header, what can you remove, what you think is unnecessary. Now, from my side, from the search bar until this English, I need nothing around it. So this search bar is within this div tag, whereby it searches within a form. I don't need the search form. Form, I don't need this. Now, this div tag closes that. This div tag closes that. This one is for a container, for strong, what, whereby there is information, this lorem ipsum, you languages until the logout session, which is this one. So what I don't need is I don't need this information, and this starts from there. Tasks menu, mega menu, I don't need any mega menu. I don't need any languages. I don't need any tasks for now, so why not remove them? And this one is for what? Peter Ramsey, what? Let me take a look at what our project currently looks like. All right, yeah. Maybe we can leave this, maybe this search if you still want it, but, well, not really much of a need. What's mainly remaining behind is, all right, so this is for a search, I take it. Header, drop down. I don't need this drop down. I don't need this div tag for search. So this div class is, all right, so I don't need anything that is in here. As you can see, we've got our nice logout button and whatnot. So now what we can now do is we now need to make sure that this logout button can be able to work the way in which we want. So for us to be able to do that, we need to go back into our code and we need to manipulate the logout button. And this logout button is literally this one over here. Now I'm going to put this on the next line so that it can be more visible. Log out with an anchor tag that ends here and the div box that ends here. So, all right, there's an ID, there's a log out, there's what. Yeah, we don't really need it that much, but we need the div tag that we can just maintain the log out in the same place. Now you could actually keep the icons, which is the logout icon if you wanted, but the rest you don't need to. So what we would now need to go to is we now need to first manipulate how our HTML works. So within our HTML, you realize that we've got components that are there. And within these components, there are application buttons. There are also layouts, whereby it lays out how a specific item works. And currently, this layout already gives you a logout option, which is this one. And mind you, it's a form. So all you can do is you can just copy this form and then come and bring it to the page that you're working in. And within this page that you're working in, I'm going to paste it in like this, so that when I paste it in, the only thing that I would actually keep within this form is pretty much maybe how it works and what it says and so forth and so forth. So after copying this form, remember our form already has a route to log out, meaning that we are substituting this whole logout system that we have over here. Now you can still maintain this I class for your form if you want it. If you don't, then the choice is yours. You can just add it inside this form. Now, this is an X response that comes by default. Are we together? You don't really need it, but you can create your own, because remember, all the form does is submit information, and you can create your own input tag. And this type is going to be what? That when it's clicked or when submitted, it will have the value what? Log out. Like that. Mind you, when you click submit or when you click log out, it is going to submit to this specific route, and that by default should take you outside of the platform. So if we come back to our platform and refresh, you can see that yes, it no longer has the nice icon that we had, but if I click log out, it takes me out. In other words, all we are just saying is when someone logs in as an admin, all right, I hope that's my right email address for logging in as an admin. As an admin, when I log in, oh no, this is not the admin dashboard. As you can see, I can log in from a different account, but once I log in as an admin, which is the other email address, and the right password for that email address. Oh, sorry. I'll be able to see a new whole dashboard. So by default, this is literally what we are talking about, how to integrate certain things and so forth. We're not making yet anything fully responsive, but partially this is how you make it or how you get it to work. You can add any other extra work or any other extra items that you need on your dashboard. You can even make it show certain information, but the choice is yours. Thank you for joining me on this tutorial. Let's meet again on the next one as we complete how to integrate HTML pages on our platform. Have a good day.